All right. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening. That's comedian slash meteorologist Cloud Hudson. And I am coming to you live from yet another studio setup. I am trying to figure out what the best place to broadcast from is in my new living situation. So I've set up, yesterday I was in the living room. Maybe today this setup in the garage will be better, but I hope it doesn't look like I'm coming to you live from the garage in a sober living house. Maybe it just looks like I'm coming to you live from a garage in a normal house. Okay, let's get into today's update because we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got Hurricane Helene officially becoming a hurricane today. She has threaded the eye of the needle here between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula and is really shaping up to be quite a rainmaker, has already become quite the rainmaker because of this little spiral number right here. You see how this backflow right here, these are let's see if I can get you in motion right now. Let's show yeah, let's look at Null Earth real quick, or windy.com. It's not going to really show what I want. What was I looking at? This is water vapor imagery. Let's go to GOES latest, not full disk. I don't want full disk. Sorry, I should have had this pulled up already. Let's go to RGB. Sandwich RGB animation loops. For all y'all who want to know, this is how everyone's sources there. Okay, here you can see the conveyor belt really well of outflow from Helene, all going up this trough line in kind of this S-shaped pattern. It's like a backward S that is connecting these two vortices. These are two counterclockwise spinning vortices, but they are flowing in such a way that they are, it's like pulling the juices out. They're stacked in just a way so that the east side of this vortex is lined up with the west side of this vortex. So they are doing stretching between there. That's creating a low pressure center right in the middle where which means that clouds want to rise and convect there right in the middle of those two. And that is what has, oh, sorry, this is way too loud. Oh, wait, no, it's only loud in my ears. You guys don't hear that. This is a result of Hurricane Helene lining up just so perfectly with the trough that was moving through the continental United States, such that they made this like awesome, beautiful symmetry that looks like an infinity symbol or a figure eight, something that would be really pretty if it weren't so destructive. This also looks like a typical mid-latitude cyclone up here with the feathering out as we get into the mid-Atlantic at northeast, followed by the low pressure center behind the front. Unfortunately, that is just like perfectly aligned with where our tropical cyclone has formed itself. Also, let's not forget, just because Helene is doing her thing now on the Gulf states, that this is John over here. That hasn't been getting much attention, but there is currently a ginormous storm barreling down on the Guerrero coast of Mexico, I believe, Acapulco, and some other areas down here on the southern Pacific coast of Mexico. We're just drowning. Speaking of drowning, it may look deceptively clear in North Carolina right now, but with the elevation changes and the combination of what would normally be just a regular afternoon thunder shower front, combining with this big tropical moisture stream, we've got the conditions of a nice sustained rainy day with the connected with the power, the investment banker of moisture and power that is a hurricane. This is like a small business. A mid-latitude cyclone is like a little small business up here, and a hurricane is like a venture capitalist that comes in and just like throws ungodly amounts of money at this small business. It's going to be able to do things it should not be able to do. A mid-latitude cyclone should not be able to throw up this much flash flooding. I think I've seen like up to a foot in an hour of river gauge level rises, some 2 to 3 feet in some areas. I know when I was driving home today in the southern Appalachian Mountains, there were lots of places that any driveway that led into the road, there was standing water. There was standing water all over the entire drive. I didn't think that I would make it home. Like, I really thought I was going to have to turn around, don't drown a few times. But I could always see the bottom of the road, and that is your judgment call. If you don't know if you should keep driving or not, if you can't see the bottom of the road, do not go. Turn around, don't drown. Because even 1 inch of flowing water can lift up your car tires and float you away. That's hydroplaning. Also, if you're going to drive through standing water, which you shouldn't do, go as slow as possible without coming to a stop where you would need to accelerate more. Try not to change your speed. Try to coast the whole time, and don't try to turn if you can help it. It's similar driving techniques to driving in ice, but different. Just remember that your car is very buoyant under way less water than you'd think. So yeah, I hope that my metaphor analogy of venture capital and a small business proprietor is resonating with you guys. I don't know what else to say. It's like hooking up a fire hose to a straw. Maybe not right, not quite. I can't think of other metaphors, but this is just OP. This is an OP mid-latitude cyclone. What is happening with the rain that's happening right now? I'd say this up here that's moving into the Rust Belt area, that is clearly mid-latitude cyclone range. This lobe here in the deep south, that is gradient. That's like gradiating between what would be the normal MLC and our tropical cyclone or hurricane right down here. This is classic hurricane. You see the northeast quadrant is the most damaging. That is sweeping through Florida right now. Everybody is preparing for a lot of rain. This is the type of rain that would usually be seen with a landfalling hurricane, major hurricane making landfall right now. And I think that no matter what category Helene is when she makes landfall, we are going to see some devastating flash flooding in all of the southern states, including Florida. Now, you can see this. Let me make this bigger real quick. You can see this on my half disc right here. Helene is just growing and growing. John is also blossoming overnight. It seems like every night now he just like rapidly intensifies, undergoes rapid cyclone intensification right here, and he's not quite as hooked up. So there are these like spinny boys, vortices, cyclones, whatever you want to call them. Let me see. Is this getting my audio? Desktop audio, mic aux, properties. Okay, this is getting that. Is that getting that? Let me make sure my... Can you guys hear me? I wish I could tell. Oh well. But anyway, this is just showing our water vapor back here. And what's causing flash flooding right now is nowhere near the amount of water vapor that we've got with the actual hurricane itself. So this is just round one of day one of many days of an onslaught of hurricanes. There will be an onslaught. There will be a barreling down. There will be a torrent of an onslaught of torrents. How many ways can I say it? Weather story for the Southeast, NC and SC for North and South Carolina. Look at this, up to 16 to 20 inches of rain in some portions of Southern Appalachia. Do you notice that Western North Carolina is actually getting the most rainfall? That's because this is interacting with orographic lift. This is interacting with the terrain. Whenever we get any kind of Gulf Stream coming at the Appalachian Mountains at this angle, the angle of attack that Helene is taking, we already get a torrent of rain, even if it's just a normal, regular thunderstorm. When it comes to the mountains at this angle, which is an angle we don't normally get, there's really steep ascents. That means the adiabatic expansion and compression is going to contribute to cooking up these storms rather than chewing them up. When we get stuff coming in from our typical west to east and from north to south kind of like directions, from the northwest to southeast, the mountains have worn away over time in that direction that it kind of tears up the storms like little saw teeth. When we get terrible flooding when storms come from the southwest direction up along it goes like along the axis of where the mountain ridges are in the Southern Appalachians. So that's why we see at least 70% risk of flash flooding in this area, just because the terrain also makes water move that much faster. So if you're like in a valley, all the surface area that could catch rain on that mountain is funneling it towards one area. That's also why you see an area here that is probably going to get a lot of rainfall and flash flooding. This is kind of near the isothermal. This is like the intercontinental divide. If any of you guys know where I'm talking about, this is just bad news bears for this area of like Murphy, Cullowhee, anywhere out west of Asheville. We're looking at really, and especially as you get to the tri-state area between Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, that is really a Coweta experimental forest. That is going to have some crazy awesome data from this because it's going to be so much water. Let's see. What else did I want to... Okay. We're looking at our radar here. And, you know, radar is not quite as exciting as our satellite imagery because Our satellite imagery shows the entire cloud. Radar is showing where we're actually getting rain. So much of the Big Bend area of Florida is already seeing rain. Even though the hurricane is centered down here, we are seeing all the rain bands already because this is, again, to the northeast and hooking up with what would have normally been a regular day of thunderstorms up here. Let's see now. Getting a lot of parallel motion or entrainment. We're getting storms that are moving in the direction of their orientation. So instead of sweeping across like this, they're moving like this. So that gives it extra time to just dump massive amounts of rain on the same places. So let's go to, where did I go to? Oh. We are officially in over 10. This is over 5 to 6. Which, okay. In the past 6 hours, we've gotten 5 inches. That's like an inch per hour over here at Bent Creek rain gauge station, rain gauge at the French Broad River. Over here in West Asheville, we've gotten 4 inches. Most of that in the last 6 hours. And in central Asheville, we're looking at 4.5 inches. Up here near the sewage treatment plant, we've got 3-ish inches. These are massive numbers, and this is just the beginning of the event. Charlotte also was getting a lot of rainfall at first, but has since slowed down significantly. Looks like most of their rain came yesterday. There were some big rain events yesterday as well. These half filled in stations, those are stations where there's a data delay, so there may be a lag. Yeah, these westernmost stations, good Lord, we are really high up there. I mean, we're looking at over 5 inches in one day. That is at the beginning of this week, we were forecast to get like 5 to 10 inches, and that was scaring people. We've already gone over 5 inches, and this is a day before the real event was supposed to start. Remember, this is just a supercharged thunderstorm right now. This is a thunderstorm that has the financial backing of a hurricane. This is like, when a comedian's not that funny, but one person with money thought they were. And so you see them all over having specials, national tours, and you're like, how did that happen? And you just got to follow the money. This is just like that. This little storm was supposed to only be the trough that nudged Helene from side to side, and yet now it's stealing all her thunder. Quite literally, this storm is stealing her thunder, getting all of that powerful tropical moisture up here into this convection system, instead of staying down here with the actual hurricane itself. So yeah, we're under quite the we're seeing a lot happening. There's a lot happening here. Live current winds. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's not. I mean, she just keeps shaping up better and better. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Latest intensity models. Oh, I forgot to mention, she is officially a hurricane now. We're a Category 1 hurricane and forecast to get into probably at least Category 2, maybe Category 3. That HAFS B, that's a hurricane model, has us going into 3, and so does the HMON model, the HAFS A, GFS, and National Hurricane Center, as well as ships, all have us going to a Category 2, where the CMC and UKM have us staying in Category 1. I don't believe that. I believe that we are going to get into Category 2 or 3. Now, that was the exact same tab. Okay, let's go to... what are we looking at? Peak wind threats. God, look at that thing. I mean, she is just swirling, twirling, really convecting low. They do have the path straightening out a little bit more right now, and it's going towards Tennessee. Right now, we're looking at 85 mile per hour winds. Let me see what our millibars are at. We're expecting 15 to 20 feet of storm surge in some portions of Florida. Tropical storm force winds are almost certain near Tallahassee. Rainfall forecasts are extremely high, like I said, especially in the southern Appalachian Mountains, that first area of foothills as you get from North Georgia into South Carolina and North Carolina. The spaghetti models are shifting us ever westward, which is a good thing because unlike, I think people were comparing this to another I-named storm. I want to say it was Ivan, where the model kept shifting eastward and eastward. This one's shifting more westward. So instead of the trough kind of wobbling the storm back and forth, it seems like this trough has sucked off some of the energy of Helene. So let's see, where did we get to Category 1? Yeah, right here. All right. What was this? Oh, yeah. These are all imageries that I did not make myself. Okay. Let's go ahead and get through our other updates so I can talk about something else. Do you guys like my setup? You can see my beautiful computer now. I love this computer more than life itself. This is my prized possession. I will cry if you take it. I did not build it though. I had a team of small children build it for me because their tiny hands fit in there better than mine. No, I didn't require that it was a child, but I did buy this from a child because they just know computers better than the adults these days. I trust the experts. Okay. Surface analysis, we're down in the 960s already when it comes to millibars. And look at that Hurricane John out there still doing its thing. What am I doing? Rain gauge. Oh, I wanted to go to the stream flow. Let's refresh this and see where we're at with stream flow. Okay. So blue is the highest value here. Look at everything that is in the 90th percentile of stream flow. So much stuff is in the 90th percentile of stream flow right now. Swananoa River at Billmore, North Carolina. We are looking at percent normal, median, and mean. 434% and 255%. We are wow. We're in the 90.13 percentile. Our flood stage is 10 feet. And let's see what our hydrograph looks like. Good God. I mean, take a look at this hydrograph. You can't even, you can't even perceive the amount of, the gauge height was at one point all the way up here near 7 feet. We're usually averaging around 7 feet. And that is just in this one afternoon. Yesterday was a day when we had normal type thunderstorms that would have already elevated the stream heights. But this is today, and this is day 1 of the hurricane. So, yeah, we've got, let's see, are any of these, let's look at some of the other areas. Okay, not showing a whole lot there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. The one at Hominy Creek, we're up to 8 feet gauge height. That is in the gauge height low. Gauge height high was 4.66 feet, and we are at over 8. So this is, I don't even know what percentile we're at, but that is ungodly high. Like last year's height. Can you see where the median is, like, right at 2? I can't even process how flooded this is. Let's see. Forecast, where we're forecast to go for this Shenandoah River at Biltmore is probably approaching something that we saw in 2004. Let's see if it'll load for me. Oh, did I cut out there for a second? Internet might have cut out for a second. Major flood stage is 16.5 feet. We are currently at moderate flooding. No, we're at, for this one, action is taken at 9 feet. Minor flood stage is 10 feet. Moderate flood stage is 14.5 feet. And major flood stage is 16.5 feet. We are forecast to get to moderate flood stage at 15.5 feet. What's the next? Upstream gauge, downstream gauge. I like that. We can just toggle through them. French Broad River at Asheville expected to get to 16.5. These are all expected to get to moderate flood stage, really like just shy of major flood stage. I think further south we go, the worse they'll get. Where was I just looking at? Oh, yeah. I wanted to look at these hydrographs. Where's Glenville? We're in the 91 percentile, 90 percentile, 95th percentile at Catawba River at Pleasant Gardens. That is looking like, give me today. Whew, buddy. I think that is flood stage. Let's see. Does it say what major flood stage is for this one? Buddy, that's a lot. That's our median. That's our median and last year. Oh my God. That's huge. That is enormous flooding. That's terrible. Our forecast is, I mean, they don't even have a, buddy, that's big. Some areas in Charlotte are also pushing 90 and 96 percentile. I think here in, oh, damn. I mean, this is the beginning. This is the first day. I cannot stress this enough. This is the first day. Okay. So hopefully everybody's in their safe spots. I'm going to bookmark that page, and then we're gonna move on because I have to get on with the rest of our forecast. But I do want to do something real quick. See if I can. Yes, I can leave this on. It'll load, I think. I think this. No, will it? Oh, I think I have to go to the GIF of it. Open GIF in new tab. Image in new tab. Is it gonna let me? No, it does a static image. I want the. Thought I was going to be able to make this a GIF image, but I don't think I can. Oh well. I'm just going to make this a tiny image and leave it on. No, I'm not. I'm actually going to use the link for this page and do that in the corner tiny. Okay, let's see if that works. Yes. Yes, work. Okay. Work. Okay, there we go. Cool. I don't know if I can scroll down on this. Oh well. Properties. No one who's good at OBS make fun of me. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now I got the full image. Okay. And I'm actually gonna do that. Gonna redo all my shit here. Here we go. Oh my God. I wish I was better at OBS. Somebody please get on here and be my stream guru. Okay. Here we go. I wish there was people here too, but oh well. While we're looking at it, let's go ahead and take a look at our earthquakes for today while I got this up. Earthquakes for today. We had a 3.5 out here in Hawaii at 24 kilometers depth. We also had a lot of earthquakes here in West Texas. Some of those up to 2.5. There's a 2.7 in Kansas. We had a lot more earthquakes here just southeast of where that Hurricane John is barreling down on the Pacific Mexican coast. We've got 4.5s, a 5.3 as well at 10 kilometers depth. Only 2.3 and 2.9 in Puerto Rico. That's pretty quiet. 1.7 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. A 3.0 up here in northern Alaska. We don't usually see them. A 4.1 and a 4.4, both near which one is this? Mount Kamchatka? Is that you? Mountain, can you hear me? Yeah, Kamchatka, Mount Kamchatka, right next to it. Right next to Mount Kamchatka at the plate, the wave inflection point, we've got a 4.4 and a 4.1. We had a 4.8 out here just south of this volcano. Sometimes I get the volcanoes to work on here and sometimes it doesn't work. That's Izu volcanic area. It doesn't say which volcano it is though. Then moving on into the Philippines, we had a 4.3 here at 60 kilometers depth, a 5.0 as we're approaching Mount Ibu. We had a 4.6 over here on, is this Java? No, that's Indonesia. On which island though? That's in Sumatra, I believe. And then over here, we had several earthquakes in Australia today, including a 3.2 surface quake down here in the southeast. There's a 4.6 and 4.7 double whammy here in and around Fiji as we're getting from the Comedic Islands over. 4.6 here right in the middle of Iran. Well, not the middle of Iran. That's eastern Iran at 10 kilometers depth. We had a nice little cluster here in Greece as well today. Mount Etna not in its active eruption phase anymore. There was also a 5.3 down here, almost at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge point, right here on the Antarctic plate border. Then a 4.4, two 4.4s in Chile today. So that is what we've got for our earthquakes. I'm just going to leave this spinning in the corner. All right. Okay, let me, click too many things at once. Make this tiny. Okay. Let's go now to check out our volcanoes. Let's go volcanoes today. Okay. Volcanoes today. Continuing activity. Chevelure. Mount Ibu continues to explode. Fuego is possibly volcanic ash emissions, and Sabancaya intermittent puff emissions. Let's look at Svartsengi showing up. Okay. So for the 25th, we've got a new report from Svartsengi. Data from GPS instruments indicate that the ground uplift in Svartsengi is ongoing at a consistent rate. Model simulations based on this data also suggest magma accumulation beneath Svartsengi has continued at a comparable rate over past weeks. The trends observed in the groundswell and magma accumulation align with the patterns seen during previous events in the region. So this is the flow field map. Again, if you're just joining us, if you're new to today's weather tonight, this is the eruption in Iceland that's really close to the world famous Blue Lagoon hot springs resort spa. This is all lava, fresh lava that has flowed over the surface of the earth and created new earth. This is where we're getting the most uplift right now, or this is where we have the thickest lava flow field. This is the most recent eruption on top. It's kind of moving from south to north where the eruption centers are. So that is exciting to see. We're moving at, you know what, let me let me just go ahead and go to the Icelandic volcano page. Wait, did I resize? Yeah, I did. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Actually, that was the wrong page. Okay, this is what I wanted. Actually had a pretty recent earthquake, not too much though. Let's look at Rearcast Peninsula. News and alerts. Should have our update. Magma accumulation continues. So that was the most recent eruption, or no, that was the August eruption at least. Total volume of the last eruption is just over 60 million cubic meters. Minor seismic activity at the Sudnugar crater row for the last few weeks. Let's see if they've got. This is where we are getting a lot of seismic activity from the 6th and 24th. This is what I was looking for, but we don't have an updated one. The green was the most recent inflation episode that we experienced. So as you can see, as they're marching forward, we are getting higher and higher little eruption episodes. The red line is the trend that we are on now. This is the inflation data that we're on now. So this is how much the magma is recharging and reinflating the ground under there. That is, I mean, we're well on our way to another eruption there. But that's not the only volcano in the world. Here's Lewatobi Laki Laki volcano, a beautiful sunrise image of it. That's Lewatobi. Near frequent Vulcanian-sized explosions continue to be generated from the volcano at roughly regular intervals of 3 to 4 per day. Semeru, East Java, Indonesia, explosive activity continues. Dukono, volcanic ash emissions up to flight level 80. White Island in New Zealand has erupted again, a low-level eruption. Fuego in Guatemala has explosive activity. So does Nevado del Ruiz in Colombia. Sangay in Ecuador has occasional to frequent volcanic ash emissions, and Reventador frequent ash emissions, and Sabancaya unable to detect today. So Kilauea still in its active phase, but not currently really erupting. It's still listed under the currently erupting volcanoes, though. Okay, let's go to, we've been talking about the precipitation weather for a while now, so I'm going to go straight up to our Schumann resonances power. Let's see what we're looking at here. It's going to be, yeah, I mean, we're increasing power levels a little bit, just not quite as much as we did in the last few days. Like last Wednesday, we really were climbing up there. Let's go check out our magnetosphere. What's our magnetosphere look like today? Did we get any pummeling of an onslaught of pummeling? Oh yeah, it looks like we definitely had some like rippling back. We've got some pretty high speeds in the headed back towards the Earth direction. Remember that red here is going from the sun to the Earth and past the Earth, and these cool colors are kind of like the echo, the thing that you would need a spoiler for on your car. It's that backflow from the vortices flowing, the vortex shedding of fluid flow around the Earth, just interfering at the right pattern to actually create some backflow, pushing things towards the Earth in those areas. So there's sometimes a little wake that pushes stuff back towards Earth. And that's what we're seeing there and there. Let's look at our density, see if our density is back up pretty well. And this is plasma density. Sorry, you really want to hear me hyper mic'd biting my lip. Ooh, look at the pressure though. Look at that. That's a great looks like an eyeball. Every time I see it, it looks like an eyeball, and this is the pupil, and this is like a contact lens or something. These are the radiation belts. This little feature is corresponds roughly to where the radiation belts around the Earth are. This is on the sun-facing side. This is on the midnight-facing side. So at the midnight-facing side, we've got a lot higher pressure, and that can be explained by what I was saying about the backflowing solar wind, kind of pushing the plasma, pushing that magnetic field back into the Earth. Now let's go to our solar weather. Let's see what we got. Looks like, oh, if you were in Reykjavik today, you might see the aurora. Only had one coronal mass ejection today, but yesterday we had so many that were really good. In the past few days, we've seen some really, really high speed coronal mass ejections. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting some heightened solar activity. Let's see if, we've got 3 different regions that are in a beta gamma formation. Solar protons are still pretty minimal. Let's take a look at solar flares. Solar flares, we did get into the M class range for solar flares. We had an M1.3 at right at the buzzer, right before we went from Wednesday the 25th to Thursday the 26th. And that was actually from a region that's not one of the beta gamma types. This is a region that used to be a beta gamma delta type, though, and it has since been downgraded to a beta and alpha class region. So, this is one that, as it's made its journey across the sun, has grown and shrunk in complexity. But it's still very violent storm, probably got a lot going on under the surface there. Let's see. SDO. Let's take a look at our AIA 193 imagery. Ooh, look at that. Look at these swirly boys. Look at these big, dark, swirly boys. Okay, if you don't know anything about the science, just you want to see the swirly boys swirling. This is a great channel to just appreciate the aesthetics of solar weather. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. It's very beautiful when you're not scared of it knocking out the entire power grid. It's so pretty. Looks like a little heart. Because we heart the sun. Auroral activity. Let's see what we're looking at for aurora today. Where's our solar wind speed at? Oh, we're at a KP4. We had some pretty decently high hemispheric power today. Man, look at these magnetometers. Those have been pretty strong. We may have just come out of a moderate storm, according to our disturbance storm time index. We're strongly in the southward orientation of the interplanetary magnetic field. So that means that we're going to couple very nicely. Hold on. This is fighting me. Okay. Okay. I got another. Let's go to You know what? I'm just going to go straight to going to our planetary weather because Um, I'm just getting back in the swing of things of this show, and I spent a lot of time setting up my studio today. So I've gotten a little tuckered out, honestly. I don't have as much loose juice as I used to. I don't have any chemical enhancements to keep me lubricated and effusive and talkative. Um, I mean, I'm sure not being drunk on the air is a positive, but for me, sobriety is making me a little bit less verbose. So I'm struggling to find words right now. Um, all I can say is that we are approaching the Mercury Cazimi. Uh, Mercury is at the anaretic degree of Virgo. That is prone to, I think the mutable earth sign is always, for me, going to be associated with big landscape changes, such as mudslides, landslides, natural disasters that change the shape of a coastline. Maybe parts of Florida are going to flood and never drain. Maybe this is just like going to be a new shape of Florida. Who knows? We're headed towards that Mercury Cazimi in Libra, though. We've got Venus at 3 degrees of Scorpio, bringing us all that fixed water, really fixed water, and there's major flooding events. Wow, very on the nose, Venus. Thank you for giving us just a really clear example of how Venus in Scorpio and Mercury in Virgo is likely to result in some flooding, mudslides, landslides. Pretty dang obvious if you study astrometeorology at all. We are at 19 degrees of Cancer with the moon. Mars is still hanging out in Cancer too, not the happiest placement. Jupiter in Gemini is making a sextile to Aries Chiron placement right now. So you may be getting, remember last year or 2 years ago, whenever we had that Mars retrograde in Gemini, we had, it was making a lot of aspects to things in Aries. Well, this might be tickling that itch that was brought up for you back then. Something about our ego, our wounded healer, something about our ego being our greatest fault and our medicine to the world, our downfall and our contribution. I think we're about to see that in great portion here, especially when it's dealt by other people's hands and socialization here. Other than that, yeah, we got a Grando, Uranus, and Mercury at the anaretic degree of Virgo. I think this is big climate change shifts, the signature of a natural disaster. Plus, we've got Neptune and Pisces making a kite with this. This is all screaming. This is going to be a big storm. Hurricane Helene is a big storm. It is also a Mercury day and a Curial day. I did create a little studio here. I'm going to take you on a little studio tour. Look, here's me, chilling. I'm going to fix the curtains in the background to look better soon. Got my little salt lamp. I mean, you would think that this is my house because it's the exact furniture I would choose. This is my beautiful computer and TV. I made this. I wildcrafted, and by wildcrafted I mean I found shit in the garage and created a table out of it. I wildcrafted this table. I got shit. And this is what I have my camera on, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this is what you look like. You are a webcam that the clip is attached to a little timer where if you turn the cube around, it starts a timer. Got my little ring light. And yeah, this is a couch that I was just sitting in the basement, and I hope nobody's died on, but I can't think of why you would need a couch to just sit in the basement of a sober living home and it not be one that somebody had died on or something. So, RIP, I guess. We'll bring new life to it. Okay. I've done so much talking tonight. And nobody's there. Nobody's there. I love you guys. I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight's episode. There's crazy weather. Please be safe. Don't be sorry. And yeah, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. This is just the beginning. Don't go away. Don't get too complacent. It's gonna get even worse. Okay. I'm gonna say that's it for today's weather tonight. I have been Cloud Hudson, and as long as I have power and internet, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I might even go live for longer. Who knows? I'm gonna soak up all the knowledge I can. I love you guys very much. Have a beautiful evening. Please try to stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Love you so much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.